This was the moment. This was when Doublelift's Lucian went from great to legendary.
Doublelift! Gets the GA! Killing them all! Kills everybody! They've got 3! Impact goes down! And A's for TSM!
Doublelift turns around the fight! Staying alive! So much patience! Bides his time! And he takes over!
Lucian. He's flashy, aggressive, and relentless. He's a champion that's capable of dealing high damage and weaving in and out of large-scale teamfights. When put in the right hands, he can run circles around enemy players and leave them scratching their heads. And since the champion's release in 2013, no player has found more success with Lucian than Doublelift. Although Doublelift made his name as a legend of the LCS, playing countless champions on the League of Legends roster, it was his prowess on Lucian, a champion that fit his playstyle perfectly, that turned him into one of the most feared players in the league, if not the world. Across his career, Doublelift played 62 games on Lucian, winning 42 of them and posting a win rate of 67%, marks that were better than nearly any pro player to ever lay their hands on the champion. Doublelift showcased strength and talent on Lucian throughout the entirety of his career, but no time frame exemplified his prowess on the champion quite like the 2016 LCS Summer Split. Throughout the 2016 LCS Summer Split, Doublelift played Lucian on 22 occasions. He helped propel TSM to a 35-6 game record throughout the split, while winning 18 of those 22 games that he played on his trademark champion.
I didn't expect how much success we would have. We went 17-1, I believe, in the best of threes. So it was still pretty phenomenal. So we would talk a lot about matchups, and we had a pretty good idea of what we wanted to do at every point of the game. And because of that, while in the game, we had clear direction. So it was very easy to play.
A full split of dominance on Lucian led up to one moment, one final climax to encapsulate his capabilities on his most iconic champion.
TSM will take it. They will head to Toronto, and they will challenge C9 for the finals of the NALCS Summer Split.
During the 2016 LCS Summer Finals, TSM were challenged like never before. With their backs against the wall facing a stacked Cloud9 roster, TSM was down 5,000 gold at the 40-minute mark in a critical fourth game. Doublelift and company were staring down the barrel of a potential do-or-die scenario. Looking to queue up silver scrapes and force a decisive fifth game, Cloud9 engaged TSM in a would-be final teamfight. Realizing that they had a numbers advantage with Svenskeren in the river and Haunter in the bottom lane, Cloud9 tried for one final push. Doublelift began the fight on the retreat. With all of Cloud9 barreling down the mid lane, the TSM AD carry was cut off from the rest of his team by a well-placed Weaver's Wall from Jensen's Talia. But once the wall drops, Cloud9's focus turns to a low-health Doublelift, who's forced to use Summoner Heal and Relentless Pursuit to evade incoming melee range attacks from Impact's Gnar and Meteos' Rek'Sai. Once Doublelift creates some distance, he's able to dispatch the enemy champions in close range and immediately turn his attention to Cloud9's carries. With less than 10% HP, Doublelift lets loose a full channel of the culling to make quick work of Cloud9 and seal the game. Throughout the course of that decisive 36-second mid lane encounter, Doublelift dealt 10,979 damage to enemy champions, accounting for nearly 2/3 of TSM's total damage during the fight.
And it's this champion where you have to have such a confidence, I think, to play it really well, because he is relatively short range, that generally once Lucian commits to a fight, you commit to the fight, right? You're not just sitting back and poking away like a Jhin with skill shots or an Ashe with volleys and things like this. You have to have the confidence that you can be in range of all these skill shots, but still avoid them to actually get out, a tremendous amount of damage. And that's one of the things that I think made Doublelift so good on it, was that he had the confidence to actually pull this off, and he had the skills to back it up, where he's going to move into the team fight, be getting all the auto attacks off, be getting all the spells off, and know that he can flash your skill shot, he can, dash your skill shot, that he can avoid all these things within that fight and still be able to get out the maximum amount of damage.
This team fight was the breaking point, the moment where Doublelift's Lucian went from great to legendary. Just 3 quick minutes after Doublelift put all of TSM on his back, the team was hoisting the LCS trophy for the 4th time in the organization's history.
TSM cement themselves as the most dominant organization in North American League of Legends and win their 4th North American Championship. Lucian.
Sure, other players in the LCS had Lucian in their champion pools, but no one played the Purifier quite like Doublelift. And this moment proved exactly why.
Without Doublelifts popping off in that fight, they almost certainly drop game 4, which means they're going to game 5, which means Cloud9 have a real good chance at closing it out from that point on. Yeah, who knows what game 5 would have been, but I mean, a lesser player would not have won that fight, and a lesser team would not have won that game, and probably not that title. And well, now we're back to the Cloud9 era again, and Cloud9 have tied TSM's record for 3 championships since like the entire history of like who's actually the best team changes just from that fight.
After that climactic moment in 2016, Doublelift would go on to play Lucian sporadically throughout the back half of his career. He finally retired the champion in 2020 with one final pop-off performance against Golden Guardians, finishing his career on the champion exactly how he started it, with a win. Although Doublelift's career spanned over 9 years and nearly 700 games, the 62 games on Lucian were what made him stand out among the best. From the highs to the lows and everything in between, Doublelift resonated and succeeded with Lucian in a way that not many players can with any single champion. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and check out our next episode on Champion Pro Player Pairs. And for more gaming related content, subscribe.